jàmm réew mi moo gën ci réew mi wax ju bon ji day yàq réew mi jëf ju baax ji mooy def réew mi dëgg-dëgg yéen daal li wër na li ngay def man ko li ngay wax xam ko li ngay wéy xam ko li ngay wax xam ko li ngay def man ko li ngay wéy xam ko bu baax ni yu daal jàmmay liggéey civilian bi li ngay
Greetings to the Gambian people and greetings to the Africans at large. Today marks another fresh edition of the program, the Motivational Platform, that comes away on Symbiance, VIP Magazine, VIP TV here in the Republic of the Gambia. And I remain Tony Michael Howard, tasked with the responsibility of inspiring and motivating the current generation of young Africans in the actualization of their respective dreams and preaching the message of peace and national unity, as well as revitalizing the Africanization policy that speaks about good governance, social justice, democracy, human rights, and most importantly, the African unity. And for today's edition, I'm going to speak to you on what I call the top life required, that top zest and quest. Perhaps you see the right under the sound of my voice, and you're going through some huge, overwhelming life challenges. Things are not going the way you expected them to have gone. You've been mocked, you've been humiliated, you've been disappointed, you've been frustrated, sad. Sorrow is almost your last name now. Your friends are making tremendous progress while you are lacking behind so greatly. But I pass by to challenge you, to encourage you that we all have different trajectories in life. We may have sat in the same class, eaten the same plate, and grew up in the same village, the same local community. But our life trajectories are quite too different. We have different paths that we cover, different routes that we travel. So there is no need to look at life in a competitional perspective. Those who look at life in a competitional perspective, once they will have climbed the ladder of success, and they look down and they see their fellow competitors, they don't want you to reach up there to them. So they're going to kick that ladder down so that you don't have an opportunity to reach them at the top. But when you look at life in an individualistic perspective, what happens? You ask yourself, what can I get out of this life? You have a humble spirit. You become simple-minded. You see that there is a need to lift other people up. So don't look at life in a competition perspective. If your friends are making progress today, that's their destiny. We have different trajectories. Perhaps yours had to take the 2-3 years, but you have to keep that hope alive, that zest, that constant, unwavering spirit about making success has to be inside of you if you expect to actualize a dream. But there are a few things that you need to do equally to ensure that you attract that vision, the mission that you're chasing as a person. One, you need to reevaluate your history, your life history. Ask yourself, where do I come from? Like a Tony Michael Howard, who hailed from Montserrat County, Republic of Mama, Liberia, in one of the remote villages, Bayama town. I need to be asking myself, Tony Michael Howard, your village needs a lot from you. Your people are expecting you big time. You need to change something about the negative narrative of that very community. You need to help to transform the lives of people in that very community. They need safe drinking water. They need food on their table. Something has to change for them. And you're given an opportunity to find yourself in a strange land. Work harder so that you change something about somebody's life. So when you have a history, when you have a reassessment of your history, then it serves as a scary factor that you do not sleep, because sleepers end up in slippers. When you have a history about your life, like, look, things are not going the way that I expect in the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. My life has remained the same. No food to eat, no clothes to wear, no place to live. This mentality, this poverty-driven life must not remain part of my DNA. I have a responsibility to change this negative narrative. Nobody is the CEO of my life. I am my own success driver. You have to understand that you are your own success driver. You got a steering before your eyes and you're moving that in the particular direction you want it to go. Nobody's going to do that for you. Stop shifting blames on other people for your failure. Whatever your uncle sends you from the US, from the UK, from Norway, from Sweden, whatever nation he or she resides, wherever your relative stays, Whatever they send you at the end of the month cannot be able to adequately take care of your responsibility. What do you need to do? Wake up from your state of dormancy and understand that you are the chief driver of your destiny. Stop shifting beyond other people. If you expect a top life, then you need that top zest and quest. You need that energy. You need that commitment. You need that dedication to whatever you do. Whatever little you are into right now, I say to you, learn to appreciate your little beginnings, because appreciating your little beginnings is an evidence that greater things are coming. If you do not manage your little beginnings right now, how do you manage your life if it grows beyond the shadows right now? Reevaluate your history. Go back to your history, where you come from. Is it good? Is it a beautiful story at all? So why are you sleeping? Why are you seated and laying back and feel so comfortable with your story? I challenge you right now, seated under the sound of my voice. I don't know, you young person. Our parents have been deceived by the statement, the future is for the youth. The future belongs to the youth. It is a life in a pit of hell that must be thrown in a dustbin of history. The future is not for the youth. I bet you, if you're 18 years old right now, in the next 20 years, you're going to be 38 years of age. What happens to your life? Are you projecting the economic dynamics of a country? Are you projecting the social dynamics of a country? Are you projecting the technological dynamics of a country? So your BSc degree now in the next 20 years is not going to be anything for you. So you need constant advancement mentality. So the future is not for the youth. Instead, the future belongs to the prepared youth. Not just any kind of youth. The future is not for everybody. It's for youths that are prepared. And how can you be prepared? It's to do something with your life. If you're in university right now studying maybe a BSc in criminal justice or social science or whatever discipline, there are people who just completed BScs on 4 years back and they are on a job market. They are jobless with the same qualification you are seeking. Which means once you will have completed your 4 years of degrees in university, you are joining jobless youth with the same discipline that you got. So you need to do something with your education. You need to do something aside from your education. That is why recognizing the hidden talents inside of you, your hidden skills inside of you, and tap into the opportunities. Do not feel comfortable with that BSc degree. Don't feel comfortable with that associate degree. Don't feel comfortable whatever level you are right now, because as our level of success grows in mathematical sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Our level of progress grows in mathematical sequence. Our problems, our trials and tribulation grows in geometrical sequence. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So as your success grows, as you graduate from university, your challenges, your problems, your concerns, your trials and tribulation grow in geometrical sequence in multiple forms. So the future is not for the youth. The future is for the prepared youth. If you're 20 years of age right now, in the next 20 years, you're going to be 40 years. What happens to your life? Are you projecting the future? Are you thinking about it? Are you calculating that? Are you thinking about it? Or are you sleeping so much and mommy providing food for you in the morning hours and you feel so comfortable with breakfast from mommy? Or you feel so comfortable because uncle sends you $25 every month. So you pay your light bill, you pay your WhatsApp bill, and you pay your house rent, and you're comfortable with that. You need to be very uncomfortable with that kind of life. You need to wake up and you say, no, this should not be part of my DNA. I am far better than that. I'm going to wake up and fend for myself as a young man, as a young lady. Yes. I said life is too short to ask a stammerer for direction. I repeat, life is too short to ask a stammerer for direction. You go into the particular village and you meet somebody, you want to ease yourself, and you ask him, where is the toilet? And he's a stammerer, and he said, if you go, or you, he's stammering, follow the direction he's talking about instanta. You don't need to wait until he stammers. You might mess up on yourself. Then translating that into the social scientific context, a perspective. A stammerer might be somebody who does not understand your vision. A stammerer might be somebody who understands a vision but doesn't want to achieve it. A stammerer might be somebody who has already achieved their own targets. They've already reached the top life in life. They've already achieved whatever target in life, but they don't want you to get to their level. So you share your vision with them. They don't want you to achieve that. So what do you need to do? Evaluate your contact on your mobile phone. Go to your Facebook and check your friends that do not align with a vision, that do not understand where you're heading. Check your mobile phone, your WhatsApp numbers of people who do not have any element of value to your life. Delete them from your contacts, because nobody wants to be an associate of failure. Everybody wants to be an associate of the progressive. Say no to these friends. These are negative stammerers. These are people, these are stammerers who do not understand your targets. They don't know where you're heading. You don't need to keep them. You need to keep them at arm's length. You say you don't understand my vision, even though we ate in the same plates, we sat in the same classroom, we slept in the same bedroom. But it doesn't mean our destiny is the same. You don't understand my life, I'm leaving you and drive my own way. You must serve as the driver of your own destiny. Evaluate your friendship and remove people who do not understand it, I repeat. And I say, don't get frustrated, don't get disappointed, don't cry. Stop worrying yourself because nobody's going to pity you. Everybody has their own problems. Just wake up. Dream. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf says the size of the dreams must exceed your current capacity to achieve them. The size of the dreams must exceed your current capacity to achieve them. That means if the dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. Dream, but then when you dream, you must have an action-driven mentality. Don't just dream and sit there, wake up, because hope is waking dream. Wake up and do something. There are people who are looking at you as a role model. Until you succeed, your life remains down. So once you grow, then they kick their life after your own pattern. They say, I want to be like Lamin, I want to be like Moses, I want to be like Johnson, I want to be like my brother, I want to be like my sister. I want to be like that young man that took his life from zero. Today he's a hero. But you don't want to sleep and shift blame on everybody for your failure. That is shameful. It's embarrassing. What do you say tomorrow after you will have failed? What do you tell your children? What do you say to people who look up to you, high expectation? That my uncle didn't pay my school fees. That's why I did not go to school. Or that he's supposed to give me some money to start a business, but he didn't give it to me. That's why my life is like this. That is an embarrassing excuse that must be thrown in a dustbin of history. That is a life in a pit of hell that you don't need to follow tomorrow. If you do not want to fall victim of such stories, wake up right now and understand that the future is not for youth, but for the prepared youth. That is, what do you do with your life? What do you do with your education right now? How can you be able to translate your education to practical manifestation that have the possibility of adding value to not only your life, but to the larger society? That is the best way forward. And I say to you in confidence, if they have not mocked you, they have not embarrassed you, you've not been humiliated, then the testimony is far from rich. You need to go through the challenges. Don't feel disappointed or frustrated. Understand that these challenges have to come. These are things that will happen to you then after you will have received your success. Then you look at your past life and you say, Lord, I have done something great. Then you celebrate that there is a heaven somewhere for everyone. You celebrate that there are good times for people and there are bad times, because every day in man's life you got to learn something from that. There is no worst thing in a man's life, because bad times give you the experiences to learn from. Why? Good times give you beautiful moments to be glad about. I'm challenging you. Wake up. Don't be discouraged. Don't be disappointed. If your stories have been wrong in the past, you can change it right now. You may have been born poor, but it is your responsibility if you remained poor. You must have been born in a very frustrated and disappointing home, but for your life to remain a very frustrating and disappointing type, it is your bending responsibility. So what are you doing? Wake up. Don't sleep, because sleepers end up in slipper. Build your life on principles, because if you don't build your life on principles, you are heading for troubles. This is Symbion's VIP Magazine, VIP TV. And this is a motivational platform meant to inspire and motivate the current generation of young Africans in the actualization of their respective dreams and preaching a message of peace and national unity, as well as revitalizing the Africanization policy that speaks about good governance, social justice, democracy, human rights, and most importantly, the African unity. Those from East Africa that say to you, jambo habari yako, kumfuta nyayo zangu, nakupenda pia heshima kwa East Africa, respect to East Africa. We say, asante kwa masara when you kuitu sisi, that is thanks for supporting us all the way there in the Swahili land, like Tanzania and Nairobi, Kenya. In the Ichikwanda language of Rwanda, we say to you, abakwanda, napakunda mwezi. Thanks for supporting us, of course. To the Zulu people in South Africa, we say to you once more, thanks for supporting us and greetings to you there in South Africa. To the Mendes in Freetown, on the other hand, we say Biyeluve. To the Kono speaking people who say wanted to you, to the Aku speaking people who say Unakushio, of course. So Yoruba land, Nikita say Kwara State, Ondo State, or your state, Ondo State, we say to you. Baonisha, utudojo meta baolombo to Eastern Nigeria say ikaraka ijie. Michiko abia mama simasi oshimiri atata ikuwe michiko kike strengthen you all wherever you are under the sound of my voice. to the Mandinkas in the Gambia, so Abiyan is going to look at the family kete. About a bag of young. We won't forget to say, of course, to the wall of who's in a def for supporting us constantly. We say what the Malamuna Fatse, the Malamusa Fate say, Adonabi. To the fuller, who say, well, Hidejan Masuda Nalaga, I say, jumped onto you, I will say, me moja moja. To the Liberian people, in my own Pele dialect, will say to you, Kumana Yukakale Kalen. Kukle Kukatuna, we all that one. Kasay Adama, thank you so very much. And I remain Tony Mikiel, our Mix Ambience VIP Magazine, VIP TV, your favorite media house here on this motivational platform. If you like, follow us. Bye-bye.